all our problems. Whether it's not being able to pay rent, afford school fees, or not having enough money at one specific moment to buy a Fanta at a local store. The majority of the world believes that money only affects us. We are here to tell you that this is not the case. Money is most likely to be the primary cause of one of the biggest epidemics affecting the world today, poaching. The story of these courageous teenagers will show you how money and greed is responsible for destroying one of the most beautiful treasures that we are lucky to have, our wildlife. Tonight, we'll take a look into the belly of the beast being humanity.
Miss Hall.
Who are you? If you're looking for the old people's home, there's one not too far from here.
Actually, Miss Hall, I'm here to speak with you.
About what? Our senior citizens' lines have been discontinued for years.
Miss Hall, I don't quite care for your tone.
I'm sorry. How may I help you, gentlemen?
Well, you see, Miss Hall, I am here to help you. My associate, Mr. Riley, and I have come with the proposal of a business venture. It might help both of us in our current predicaments.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Please, Miss Hall, we've been watching you for a while. We've seen that your business is struggling, and we believe that we can help you, if you'd let us.
Not that I'm saying I need your help, but what could you possibly do? I don't even know who you are, or the least of what you do.
Very well. I represent a private organization out of Guangzhou, China. My associates and I have come here with the proposal of procuring your services with one of our business ventures.
Well, as you can see, I am very busy at the moment, and I can't see how I'd be of much use.
Well, there's the thing, Miss Hall. All you would have to do is use your business to clean up some of our money. You wouldn't have to lift up a finger.
So you want me to become involved in a money laundering scheme just for you to help me?
Yes, in theory, yes.
And if I refuse?
Then your business goes under, all these nice people lose their jobs, and you, your beautiful daughter, end up living on the streets. I don't think your ex-husband will be amenable enough to offer his services either. You see, Miss Hall, you don't really have a choice. So the question is, will you take our hand of friendship, or will you and your daughter start looking on the side of the road for boxes to rent?
All right, but I don't buy a car without checking under the hood first. I want details.
Splendid! You see, we require the services of an animal poacher to acquire approximately 500 kilograms of keratin in ivory.
And why do you want these materials so badly that you're desperate enough to come to me?
Mr. Riley?
Our research over the past few years has indicated that in China the value of keratin in rhino horns is astronomically high on the black market. The Chinese believe it to possess the ability to cure various types of diseases. The Vietnamese, on the other hand, believe it to possess the ability to cure cancer.
And as for the tusks, I hear they make beautiful ornaments out of the ivory, and in some traditions, it is given to boys as a coming-of-age ceremony.
So I'm also part of an animal poaching scheme.
You could say so. So, Miss Hall, are you in or are you out? With your silence, I can take it that we are in business.
You can, Mr.
Ferguson, Jack Ferguson, and this is my PA, Leonard Riley.
Sir, we must be going. You have another appointment.
I do apologize, Miss Hall. It was a pleasure meeting you.
Pleasure was all mine, Mr. Ferguson. Luckily for you, I have a fashion shoot in less than 10 minutes. Please, let me walk you out.
I'm so tired from today. I just want to go home and sleep. Come on, Rick. It wasn't that bad, at least for me. Anyway, I had physics last period, so I just slept the entire time. Not all of us are so lucky, Sarah. You were supposed to have English, but our teacher was absent.
I don't hear the bad part. Why are you so unhappy?
Because, unlike some people, Christine, I don't want to work at McDonald's when I grow up.
Guys, we have a problem.
Janet, what's wrong?
I just came from my mom's office and overheard her talking to some weird old guys about killing some animals at the wildlife sanctuary.
What? How would they do that? With a nuclear bomb. Come on, Rick. They're obviously going to use a poacher. How am I supposed to know that? The same way we all found out. Wikipedia didn't say that. guys are idiots.
Are you sure you heard them right?
Positive.
Janet, I'm so sorry.
You don't have to apologize, Justin. It's not as if you sold yourself out.
But why would your mom agree to help them?
Because, like Donald Trump, she's the devil with a bad haircut.
Me!
Well, what can we do? We're just kids.
Yeah, but we can't let that stop us.
Come on, guys. We have to do something. And where there's a will, there's a way.
She's right. This is too big to back down from. And I know we can do it.
And how do you know that?
Because if we can survive high school, we can survive anything.
You're right. We may be young, but that doesn't stop us from doing the impossible.
Come on, guys. Why don't we meet up at a coffee shop? We can come up with a plan there.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Yeah, sure.
You're right. There might be people watching us. Like who, Rick? Facebook! Those guys see everything with their fake profile pictures and made-up names.
All right, we'll meet up in half an hour, okay?
Yeah.
Leonard, please leave me to do my work. In private.
Of course, sir.
I need to have a word with you.
Excuse me? Who do you think you are addressing with that tone, young man?
I apologize, sir. May I please speak to you about something?
What is it?
I heard rumors that you plan to poach some animals at the wildlife sanctuary. Is this true?
Where did you hear this?
A friend of mine told me. Is this true?
What if it is? What is it to you?
With all due respect, sir, in my opinion, those animals don't deserve to have their lives taken away like this.
And since when did your opinion amass any value in my affairs?
It's just that I think they have the same rights that you and I do.
No, they don't. And for your information, what I do to put food on your plate and into your stomach, put you through education, a roof over your head, is of no importance to you. All you should focus on is your studies. Understood? Understood.
No, Father. These animals aren't any different than you and me. We don't have the right to play judge, jury, and executioner just to get what we want. What would Mother have said about this if she was still alive?
How dare you! If your mother was still alive, she wouldn't condone this kind of insubordinate behavior you are showing me right now. And for your information, these animals you speak so highly of represent that of disease, a plague that must be obliterated. If I can make a profit off of that, all the better. So what if a few animals die? The world will continue to spin just as it did today, yesterday, and tomorrow. Nothing will change. All you should be focused on is your studies. Understood?
No.
There's more to the world than you understand, Justin. You'll do well to heed that information.
Yes, but Father, there's more to the world than money. Money doesn't determine how we live. Our actions do.
You'll do well to listen to me, Justin. I shall only say this once. Get everything that you've heard today. You're far too young to begin to comprehend what's happening around you.
Sir, we must be going. You have another appointment in 10 minutes.
Very well. Justin, if you do anything to interfere with my plans, don't bother coming home.
Where's Dustin? He should have been here by now. I'm sure he's on his way. He's probably running late. Oh, look, here he is.
Sorry I'm late.
Justin, what's wrong?
And why do you look like one of Kim Kardashian's ex-husbands?
Don't worry about it. I just got into it with my dad.
Oh, did he give you one of those because I said so speeches? I hate getting those.
Are you sure you're okay, Justin?
Yeah. So, what's the plan to save the animals?
We haven't thought of anything yet. Do you have any ideas?
None.
I think I might have a way to figure something out. But first we need to go to the wildlife sanctuary.
Why would we need to go there?
Yeah, wouldn't it be better if we stayed here and come up with a plan?
Believe me, there's something there that's going to help us.
What's that?
Well, it's not something I can tell you. It's something I can show you.
Well, I see no harm in it.
Awesome. Let's go before they close.
Hey, man, are you okay?
Oh yeah, I'm fine.
You sure?
Yep.
You don't look
Just
very...
leave it alone, alright? I said I'm fine.
Here we are.
Why are we here again?
Because in order for us to succeed, we first need to know what we're fighting for. And I thought this would be a good place for inspiration.
Yeah, I mean, what are you really fighting for?
That.
Oh look, there's an elephant with their baby.
The correct term is cow.
Whoa! Guys! We can't let those guys get their hands on these animals!
Rick, I never thought I'd say this, but you may be right.
Exactly. We're not just fighting for the animals themselves, but we're also fighting for the families in there. See? We can't just do this to them.
We'll make sure these animals don't get harmed. Right, Justin?
Definitely.
So we all agree. From now on, our number one priority is to protect the animals at the wildlife sanctuary.
Can we make it our second priority? Because I've got a biology paper due tomorrow and I haven't started it yet, so...
Rick!
No, it's cool. It's cool. I'll just fail science. I mean, it's not like it's ever done anything to help my life.
What about you, Justin? Are you in?
I'm in.
It's unanimous. Under no circumstances will we allow those poachers to get to our animals.
Agreed.
The shipment will be ready on the day we discussed? All right then. Then, please tell me you have good news.
I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, Mr. Ferguson. But we have a problem.
What is it?
There seems to be some people who have caught wind of our operation.
Who are they?
A group of teenagers from Silver Lake High School.
Teenagers? That's no problem. They're just a bunch of teenagers. What can they do to get in the way of us?
There is another problem, sir. One of the students is your son.
Justin. So it appears he decides not to heed my warning.
Well, sir, there are approximately 6 of them. Him and 5 of his friends.
We'll be fine. What can they do to get in the way of us?
And what of your son?
I have no son. He relinquished that right when he decided to disobey me.
As you say, sir.
Mr. Peterson, please come in. Leonard, leave us.
Of course, sir.
Mr. Peterson, have a seat.
No, I think I'll stand.
Very well. So, Mr. Peterson, you would
Where's
probably...
my wife, Jack?
You understand the deal, Mr. Peterson? Once you get me what I want, you'll get your wife back.
But what do you want?
I just want to make sure that everything is going well, and that you will get me the items on my wish list.
Fine then. I have a guy who has a chopper. We'll be able to fly over the wildlife sanctuary undetected, carrying along tranquilizer guns. Approximately 18 hours will be in position to tranquil rhinos.
Why so late?
The sanctuary herds black rhinos, and black rhinos only feed between the times of dawn to dusk, which means they'll be struck at night. That's also when the caretakers change shift, which gives us a 10-minute window. As for the home removal, that's why God gave us chainsaws. It ain't pretty, but it'll get the job done.
You'll need a lot longer than 10 minutes to dispossess a rhino of its horn. Luckily for you, I have a man on the inside who can guarantee as much time as you would like.
I wonder how you swung that.
You'd be surprised what a man will do for an increased payday, Mr. Peterson. And what of the ivory?
African elephants don't sleep much, which means they move around a lot. There'll be a second team tracking them. On my command, they hit them with one trank at a time. Take out the horns, take out the tusks, same way we took out the rhino horns. We all done and dusted just before the sun decides to wake up.
How will you separate the elephants from their pack? Do you believe they like to travel in herds?
We plant pitfall traps near the trees with a lot of bark and fruit. They fall in, and trank them, and take out the tusks.
I'm impressed, Mr. Peterson. And don't worry, as soon as I get what I want, you will get your wife back.
I was just wondering, what are you going to do with the products once you have them?
I believe you'd rather not like to know that, Mr. Peterson.
Never mind, I don't want to know anyway. All that I want to know is that after this, I'll get my wife back safe and sound just like you said.
Of course, Mr. Peterson. Would I ever lie to you? The plan is proceeding on schedule.
It's crazy. There's no possible way that this will work. At best, it might get all of us killed.
It won't because it will work.
I'm sorry, but it's not going to work. And you know why? Because it's a stupid idea. That's why.
Hey, why are you guys shouting?
Because I have a plan to stop the animal poachers, but Dumbo over here won't listen.
What's your plan?
Just hold on.
Hey, Dumbo, she's talking.
Thank you. Anyways, I was just thinking that every poacher has an employer, just like a worker bee has a queen bee. In this case, a syndicate. That orchestrates the whole thing. So what if we target the syndicate with its most valuable asset, use its strongest weapon against them?
Who would that be? The poacher.
Exactly. If we can convince him,
Or her.
if we can convince him to go against his employers, not only are we stopping an animal massacre, but we're also finding out the puppeteers who are stringing the whole act together.
Are you sure we can just grease him with guys like this? I mean, we're only kids in high school, remember? True. The principal didn't listen to me when I wanted to create my own Quidditch team. Oh my god. Rick, I will pay you not to say something ridiculous.
Well, I think it's a solid plan.
I'm sorry. What?
You heard me, but it will only work if we believe in it 100%.
I'm in. Me too. Me three.
It's up to you, Justin.
Fine, I'll do it. But don't say I didn't warn you.
All right. Now that we have a plan, let's meet up at the Wildlife Sanctuary at 5:30.
Justin, are you okay? Yes, I'm fine. I'm just thinking about later. Janet? I didn't know you were home. What's all this?
My clothes, Mom. I'm leaving. I just can't stay here anymore.
Wait, hold on a minute. Why not? Is it something I did?
It's everything you did. I just can't believe you'd sell yourself out at the expense of those poor innocent animals.
Oh, what are you talking about?
I overheard your meeting with those men and how you accepted their bribe just to save your business.
Now, Janet, listen to me. If you just give me the chance to explain.
You're all out of chances, Miranda.
Now, wait a minute. I'm your mother, and that title does not warrant such disrespect. I worked hard to get where I am, and to become the successful business icon you see standing right in front of you today. I had no help, not because I was too proud to accept it, but because nobody offered. Everything I am today came from me working hard in school and college my entire life. But you want to know what's harder than running a business on your own? Being a single mother. You have no idea how many sacrifices I have made just to see you getting a decent education, a food on your plate, and a roof above your head. And if a few animals have to die just to let me not see you living on a street, I would do it without a moment's hesitation. But why? Why do you care about these animals so much?
Because just like you and me, they have a heart and soul. And just like us, they have rights. The right to wake up every single morning and see the sunrise. The right to hold their children in the night and to watch them grow. And finally, the right to roam the earth freely. An earth which wasn't created just for us, but for all creatures of God. And if you can't see that, then maybe we just aren't mother and daughter.
No, damn it.
Maybe we never were.
No! I am so sorry.
Let's just remember why we're doing this. For the animals. Let's go then.
Wait, there's something I need to tell you. All this is because of me.
What do you mean?
I know who's behind all of this. It's my dad.
What do you mean?
I suspected it was him when Janet told us about the meeting her mom had. And so I connected the dots. I thought it was he's been in a lot of illegal deals over the past few years, costing a lot of people and a lot of animals their lives. But I've just stood by and watched it all happen, too afraid to find out whether it was true or not.
But how did you notice him at the meeting?
I checked his phone without him knowing, and I saw a picture of the poacher he had hired and how he had kidnapped his wife to get him into doing it. Look, guys, I'm really sorry.
Justin, none of this is your fault.
She's right. And it's not only your dad's fault, but the whole of humanity is to blame. We just don't realize the gravity of our actions. Right, man. Don't beat yourself up for your dad's mistakes.
We as humans aren't defined by the mistakes we make, but by what we do to rectify those mistakes. And
We're as much as to blame as you are.
Well, then I'm going to help you stop the poachers and save these animals.
Well, let's go then.
Wait, before we go in, can we take a selfie?
Yeah, sure.
Crazy pose, everybody. Awesome! My Twitter followers are gonna love this.
Stop!
Who are you?
we're just a bunch of kids trying to make a difference in the world.
What are you doing here? Trying to stop you from making a bad decision. Huh? Why don't you just go back to your Facebook and Instagram and leave this to the grown-ups, eh?
I didn't know that killing a bunch of defenseless animals was what it took to be a grown-up.
What are you talking about? I'm just here to see the wildlife.
So you're the guy my father employs to poach these animals.
How'd you find out?
It doesn't matter how we know, just as long as we do.
Sir, please, you can't go through with this.
Look, in this world, we're all forced to do some things that we don't want to. You learn as you'll get older.
Well, then what's forcing you?
The better question is, why are you willing to put your lives on the line for these animals? It's not like they would do the same for you.
People think that humans and animals have nothing in common, but that couldn't be further from the truth. Just because we live in big glass houses and behind our picket fences, while they live out in the trees or in the patches of grasses here and there, doesn't mean that we're all that different. In fact, we're probably more animalistic than they are.
How so? Out there, they kill their own kind, just like we do.
Yeah, but if you think about it, it's the natural cycle of life that the carnivores hunt down the herbivores. They do it for survival and food, while we do it for fun, money, and sport.
You guys may have made a point. That doesn't mean I still don't have a choice. If I don't do this, I'll never see my wife again, and I do not know how I can live without her.
Is this what your wife would wanted? To be exchanged for the world's most critically endangered species?
Here, I have something to show you.
What is this?
It's a picture of two elephants, Kibo and Marathi.
Marcy was a stray that the David Sheldon Wildlife Trust brought in. She was found in Kenya, walking alone in a farm, which is particularly not a good thing, since she'll still cough and needs to be milk fed.
The thing was that there was only one of her tusks. This is because the other one didn't grow properly. Even though it was pretty much worthless, some amateur decided to shoot her in the arrow, but the caretakers took her in before she could get harmed.
When they arrived, they found Kibo and a few other of her friends trying to wake her up by poking her with their legs and trunks, but eventually they left her to receive treatment.
But Kibo stayed with the caretakers while they treated her. They tried to treat her without interfering with the caretakers too much. But in the end,
She pulled through.
true story.
This is why we're willing to put our lives on the line for these animals. They show us how we should act and who we should be. And when you kill one of them, it affects their family and friends a whole lot more than you could ever profit, making you no worse than the people who have your wife.
And if this doesn't convince you, then how would your wife feel knowing that you contributed to extinct these endangered animals? I don't think she'd be your wife after that.
Thank you, sir. You've made the right decision.
For you? Yeah, but not for my wife. Now I'm probably never going to see her again. Unless you geniuses have any other ideas. I think I may have a way to get your wife back and get the guys responsible for kidnapping her and endangering these animals in prison. And trust me, after everything they've done to you and your wife, they'll go to prison for a very long time.
You have a lot of nerve coming in here, boy. I thought I told you not to return.
I'm not staying.
Then why shouldn't I have you thrown out? This premises is for family only, and you are sure as hell not my son. So tell me, why should I let you stay? Answer me!
He's in here. Mr. Ferguson,
What is it?
we have been accused of several counts of extortion, kidnapping, and money laundering by the South African federal government. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be provided for you. Do you understand these rights I've just read to you? With these rights in mind, do you wish to speak to me?
You're making a very big mistake, Justin.
You're right, but don't worry. I no longer consider you as my father, so I fixed my mistake.
In the end of this story of wrong versus right, a lot had happened. Justin went off to live with his aunt in England and finished school. The others resumed their everyday lives and eventually would graduate and go to different colleges. They would then get jobs all over the world where they thought they could make a difference. Mr. Ferguson and his associates were sentenced to life in prison. And because Mr. Ferguson failed in his attempt to poach the animals of the wildlife sanctuary, Hall of Fashion Incorporated went bankrupt. Miranda Hall was arrested for money laundering and conspiracy to animal poaching. The good news is, the police eventually found Larry's wife in an abandoned warehouse. As time went on, a new sense of optimism began to fill the air. Many other syndicates and animal poachers were caught because of the work that these teenagers did. Teenagers who, instead of only doing their homework, took on the responsibility of protecting something much bigger than themselves. So now, my fellow spectators, it is your turn to approach the stand. And my question for you is, how far are you willing to go to protect our wildlife? The way I see it, you have two choices. You can either stand by, watching an entire animal species die off one by one, or you can make a difference. The choice is yours, so choose wisely.